Morning, James. How you doing?
Not too bad. How's things?
Pretty good. Just packing up.
You off on your holes or trip or
What's up?
packing up for the day?
Yeah, that too. But I'm about to run. I think I'm going to Florida this weekend if I can squeeze it in.
Oh, nice.
Morning,
Hey, how'd it go?
how you Kurt?
That'd be nice. Decent weather this time of year there.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get to the F1 race. I got tickets. Well, my friend has tickets, but I'm not sure if I can make it yet.
Oh yeah, jeez,
Oh, oof.
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's my first race ever. I can't wait.
Oh, that'd be cool, especially there as well. I think
Right with the water, huh?
yeah, yeah, that'll be lovely. I think it's where Verstappen's going to try and show his speed. But I know the fact of like Lando and Russell are going to try and show off in Miami. That's for sure.
For sure, the McLaren picked up some pace last weekend somehow, some way.
Yeah, cool, cool. Um, I guess we'll just kick off by saying to those who are in this morning, congrats to those who got into the ambassador program. Awesome to see that kick off for season zero, and then really start to put things in the pipeline in the works already for season one. Um, I think for those who applied and unfortunately didn't get in this time, that there's going to be plenty of opportunity going forward to become part of the program, and provide any kind of value there. And that more info will be released on that really towards the end of this month, and when those next, I guess, when those next kind of like admissions happen. And I know that's typically not your typical ambassador program where floodgates are opened and um, everyone can join and then it's whittled down in that sense. That's something that we did consider, to be honest. But I think a much better way is keeping it fairly small, gated, like small working groups, and we can add in time. So I know I've spoken to a few of other people in this meeting as well on video call. So you guys are probably going to be the ones that maybe next time the admissions come in, get into the next round. But awesome to see you guys who have always been in the huddle as well be a part of the program, and I'm sure it will be a real success.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. There's for everyone in here, there's definitely a lot of work going on.
I guess, I mean, really, from my end and like the foundation side of things, there's nothing really new news in terms of anything going on with the hedges right now, apart from really everything that Mirash, who's in here, is kind of working with. Um, we are trying to think of ideas, and there's been governance forum posts as well from like the Hedgie utility standards. And I know NT you were talking about that, and I don't know if you want to touch on it again, just in case anyone in here wants to kind of give a bit of idea of what they think. So yeah, I don't know if you want to give a bit of 2 cents on that.
Yeah, for sure. So the last time I don't know if I did the best job explaining it, but it'd be an NFT lending market, and the idea is it's peer to peer, decentralized, and it would be hedgies where if I have a hedgie that I want to get some liquidity on, I can put it up with the amount of capital I want, the time frame, and uh, um, the amount of capital I want, the time frame, and interest rates, and then anyone can come in and provide that capital, take on the loan, or on the other side, I could put an offer in. Let's say it almost be like the floor for NFTs. So let's say the floor is going for like a couple $1,000s, 5% interest rate at a 30-day time window. So then you could have offers in that any hedgie can come in and claim now, and it'd be like a sort of peer-to-peer lending market in that respect. And someone just for it'll be a lot easier if you go on NFTFi, they actually already started doing it, and I didn't realize they were doing it, but this is the exact concept. But they do it for every collection. I think anyone can come on, post I mean, they even have the mutant apes have gotten some loans on there, so they have a pretty decent marketplace. But I'd recommend checking that out. That's the idea we kind of wanted to do, and definitely incorporate DYDX. Like overall, really just looking for ways to connect the token with the Hedgie with utility, but we really can't compromise token holders too much by like almost taking the utility from them and giving it to us. So yeah, that's really the goal here.
I want to interject. It's Starcoil, JPEG, and pseudo swap are also doing this.
Thank you, Sarkma. What's the name again? I'm going to write it down.
JPEG, JPEGD, and pseudo swap, SUDO, are also doing it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Starkworld, is it pretty like well utilized? Do you think, or?
It's a new feature and it's not really been seen in the NFT space. I mean, the issues here that you're taking a loan against a relatively liquid asset and trying to cover it with a market spread, and then hoping that you don't trigger any sort of, or put yourself, or basically you don't want to get called on your loan and lose your NFT, or maybe lose the capital that you put in. So it's an interesting thing, but they have some interesting mechanisms they're using to kind of help protect the lenders and the people that are, I guess, the NFT holders that are putting their NFT up for collateral. I think if I was just going to speak from my own perspective, my own opinion, instead of just having a hedgie option where maybe you're loading hedgies for USDC, etc., we need to really, I think, encompass everybody. I know this is Hedgie Huddle, by the way, but we really need to encompass everybody, including token holders. And I think we should even go beyond like hedges and DYDX. And first of all, we're going to have issues with doing this, and I think legal is going to tell us that we can't. So that's one thing. The second thing is we should really be looking at platform-wide options that really encompass the whole market. So if we're doing something like NFT staking, I think we should be doing like, where a competitor to other platforms that are kind of like building out and build in more features that attract more traders. And I think these things are as every set of eyes we get on the platform is someone who might, they might not just want to loan an NFT or maybe provide collateral or capital. Maybe they also are a trader. Maybe they're also someone who wants to go long or short on whatever token. And so I think that anything that we look at really should be something that really enhances everything. So.
Yeah, I see your point. It really limits us by only doing our NFT. I totally agree. And to the other point of the security that the other platforms would have against, I guess, like security for lenders and lendees. I get the volatility going on here. My idea in the future is that if we incorporate the token, right, it creates utility, and if we have multiple different collections, and it almost keeps things with checks and balances, where you can arbitrage the token, the interest rates, and things like that.
Yeah, there are a lot of interesting options. I'm all for it. I'm all for like the general idea. I think that the more we can do to create utility for the platform, and that's where I look at everything. Like I know everybody's looking at it like, what can I do to make utility for the NFT, or what can I do to make utility for the token? I've kind of, I guess I'm past that at this point, maybe. And now I'm like, basically, what can I think of to make utility for the platform? Because I think that it's like we're trying to like, what is it called? It's the tail wagging the dog. We're like, hey, let's fix the NFT, or let's fix the token. Well, no, we fixed the platform. It's a great platform, by the way. And when I say fix it, I mean like add more utility, add more features, add more options, because every new thing we add to the platform adds new people, and those are the consumers of the token. Those are the consumers of the NFT, and it solves all the other issues instead of trying to look at it from like fix like the effects. We look at the cause, and then we go from the cause to the effect. Anyway.
Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Makes sense. dropping alpha as usual. Start well. I think I'll also just quickly interject to say that the foundation today, kind of as a new employee started at the foundation, Doruk, who is kind of the head of Turkey for the foundation team, which is really exciting, which is um, another hire that's really going to drive international growth for us, and really push things out for the Turkish user base over there. So I thought I'd just drop that in whilst we're talking about the additional utility. Has anyone else got anything to bring up, say, discuss anything, Hedgies, anything else?
Yeah, I have one thing actually.
Sweet.
Sorry to be monopolizing time. I spoke with an AI video rendering platform, a software solution, I guess, or software as a service. And I'm trying to figure out an option where we can basically animate our hedgies and get them to talk. I think it'd be an interesting thing to maybe produce some media content, but also as an option for people to just have for their own hedgies. And I think that the options would allow us basically to take the Hedgie images and basically turn them using AI into 3D video. And not so much where they're animated and doing things, but just talking and kind of, like a silhouette talking, basically.
Yeah, is the
I think talk to people.
Is one of those the one you showed me before, that Synthesia?
Yeah, I actually emailed them. Synthesia, they do not do it. They just do live action, but they recommended a few other options.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I was going to say I reached out as well. So I think I think adding something like this to make things delivered from the team would be a lot better. Something that we think about with the Epoch reviews, the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first 20 minutes are just yes, it's important.
It kills me every time, by the way.
yeah, it's important information. But I think if that could be sent out in advance, and then we could just get into pure AMA, pure.
I think that's a great idea. And that's also something instead of having to rehash it and record it and release it a week later, it's something that could be released. Maybe it can be generated basically within minutes, and then it could be posted on Twitter. It could be posted on YouTube. People can read it at their leisure, or listen to it in this case, and then they can use it as a material to have sitting there when we actually do the AMAs and we do the discussions, and it also is really nice because it's really free flow, long form, and it optimizes time for the team. It lets it's like a decentralized solution to an issue we're having with centralization. It's something that anybody can sit down and produce copy for, and have a consistent result every time that people get accustomed to. And so team member X doesn't have to always be on hand to monologue for the next 20 minutes, or they don't have to keep an understanding of what's going on. It can be any DAO member in the future who is able to print up copy and basically create it and then post it for people. So
yeah, completely agree. I think that's a great idea. And I think also, I know people, we had a little vote, I think a couple of weeks back now, about the times that these Hedgie Huddles are on. And I think this time was kind of 95% of people felt like this is a difficult time. So what we'll try and do is alter the times going forward. We've got more than competent community members that can even run this meeting themselves and discuss anything to do with Hedgies, DYDX, Foundation as a whole. So I encourage any of you, if you guys feel like you can host one of these and you're more than willing to take that on, then reach out in the DMs or to any of the team, CMs, etc. Cool.
Yeah, I'm sure us in governance could pick that up, maybe, or even some of the other ambassadors to dish it around. But you definitely deserve some relief of that, I'd say.
No, it's I think it's just more of a time. I don't mind carrying on at this time. I mean, it's early morning for me, but if it's whatever's best for anyone, that's great. I think what is going to be really good is with these with you guys as ambassadors now is maybe hosting an Ask Ambassador Anything every week for a different borough that changes week on week, where the community can come in, ask what you guys have been up to. You can give a bit of a a background on the tasks and projects you've been doing, and it just kind of keeps everyone updated, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I love that idea. And then also, I mean, while we're talking about it, I was going to do I think some other ambassadors are in here, but like quarterly reports, because I've seen a lot of other chains are doing that like every 3 months, and we already have kind of our system with the epoch, so we could even do it with the epoch in unison.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great idea. I think like having something structured down, written content, and or video at the same time, updates on everything that's been going on for your borough. I think that's going to be really important, and I think that'll get, one, it just gets a lot of traction in the community, but and two, it just keeps everyone involved going forward. And I think most people who have applied for the program really do want to help and really do want to like try and get meaningful change to the organization and the DAO as a whole. So the more people can be abreast of everything going on, the better.
Yep, noted.
Cool.
This isn't related to hedgies and what I was talking about earlier. I think we can do, and I know that maybe it's contentious, but I really believe we can do like 100 times better with governance. And I don't mean like governance teams. I don't mean governance ambassadors. I mean our governance portal. Like we have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing exchange that is like top of the line UIX, and then we have this. It's like you're toting around your bedraggled step cousin who doesn't dress themselves and is like disheveled, and you're dressed up in this wonderful suit or dress. It's just discordant with like what Dydex is, and I think that we can do better. And I understand it's been a tool and useful, but I think we can do something that's like 100 times more fitting for what Dydex is and wants to be. So.
Yeah, that's actually one of the first things we talked about, and you saw those comments, and I looked around. I didn't find much other software that I liked other than MakerDAO. Which
did you look at Wix? It's I posted it like an hour ago, which is why I mentioned it. Which is why I mentioned it.
I'll give that a look for sure.
Yeah, look at Wixally. I actually know Dennison, and he's a really nice person. I actually tried to hire him at one point to do some coding work for me. Little did I know he was working on like a $20 million project where he was like the CEO founder. So jokes on me. But yeah. But he's a really cool dude, really nice. He's really approachable. And what he did, he produced this really wonderful. And I this is not like me like touting it for him or anything. Like he doesn't really even know I mentioned it, and I'm not mentioning it in any way that's like matters to me or him. To be honest, like I'm not. Yeah, we're not that related or associated. I'm not. I just know him just because I talked to him about some different projects in the past. Anyway, I think, but if you look at it, it's a lot more what we should have. And the cool thing is, and I might play with it, I might like fork it and see what I can do. If you look at it, it's a lot more fitting with what a beautiful Web3 product should be. And I think maybe we could possibly like take it and reskin it. It's like the Git's open, so it's an open source tool. And so we might be able to even take it and then, fork it, reskin it, and use like the same idea for what we need. Because it has really nice visual tooling. It has governance voting. It has everything we need, I think. Anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm looking now. It looks really cool. Just the only other point I had there is, I think a lot of our governance participation, obviously it's not just that, right? So I've looked at other protocols, and I was just looking at what's their UI look like and how much votes are they getting. And overall, this wasn't the number one problem for me, but I still totally agree that we need a new system there. So that was one of the first things we talked about, and I'm going to check that out. And
we also need email updates for governance. That's like that are easy to. Like I've posted things in governance before, and I didn't get any email updates. I don't know if my email's not linked. I guess if my emails aren't linked, but we need a tool set that when you add your address or whatever you do, it's very quick and easy, and it's something that you don't forget to do, to add email or some like whatever it is. We need a really good update system, because like it's really, really, really easy to post something and completely forget about it because you have 20 other things going on, and then like a month later you're like, what did I post, where is it? I'm not going to dig through 20 things looking for it on the governance forum, and you have no idea if anybody replied to you, or what, if you got lots of attention on it or no attention. And I think like this is a core issue where things get posted, people look at them, but it's like there's no positive feedback or reinforcement behavior to like keep going to the forums, and it's getting to the point where we kind of have to like remember, okay, we need to like kind of create some news on the forums, or we need to go check on them, and like people are trying to remind people, like everybody's trying to remind everybody else, but it shouldn't be that way. A good system is self-reinforcing, and we don't have a self-reinforcing system.
So yeah, okay, yep,
yeah. Like I do agree with that. I know we do have a notification system, but it isn't working, obviously. And I think like you said, when one comment's posted, if you're not checking back yourself, you don't actually really keep abreast of every bit of discussion that's happening there. And essentially, what happens is when everyone really wants something or wants the community to rally around something, like an idea that they have, it then becomes stale and then doesn't get consensus. So I think it's so important that people do get updates and therefore can comment as frequently as they possibly can to really get some form of rallying around an idea and or say asset listing and or others.
Yeah, I agree. I think these are UIX and these are notification issues that we can solve pretty easily. It's just the way it's set up, it's not the solution, which is why I kind of go back to that. We need a better option. So, like WebTally has really, really good UIX. It has really beautiful graphics and visuals. It has a pretty clear system for like what is the vote, what are the details, what are the vote totals, what does it look like, visually. I think MX just mentioned that it needs more forum functions, and I agree. But the thing is, like, it's a GitHub, and I'm pretty sure it's open source, so we could literally fork it, and we can add whatever. Like, the ideal thing I think we need, if I'm just gonna like kind of like talk off the top of my head, what is it called? There's like a Reddit Web3 version that what is it called? I can't remember, but anyway, there's this. I actually created like a Starkware focused subreddit for it, so I should be able to remember what it is, but I can't. Anyway, we need the Reddit stuff functioning. Probably not Reddit, but something that's like decentralized. And then we need something like WebTally, and then we would have the forums, and we would have the voting, and we would have everything in one location. That's really easy. And then we need good notifications. I think between those options, we would have everything we need. But Commonwealth doesn't give us everything we need.
Yeah. Well, what is your opinion on if we had the forums at the top of the hotbar on the exchange, and even if we fork it, we could even like in-house it where.
Honestly, I think these are issues because like the team has to tiptoe around regulation, and I don't know if they can actually associate some of the things. Maybe they can. I don't know. I'm speaking as a layman. Like I think it's a good idea. I just don't know if we can do it right now. But I've suggested it before, like having a header bar that talks about like maybe the top forum. It could be a scrolling header bar that has top forum posts that have been talked about recently. I mean, we need something that's more visual and kind of in people's kind of existence, so they remember, hey, this is actually going on. I'm a part of this. What can I do? Or this has an effect on me because I trade on this platform. I should chime in on this. Whatever it is, whatever the motivation is. So, and like this is a challenge across DeFi. This is a huge issue.
Yeah.
Getting enough people to really take on governance is a challenge because honestly, it's like you're asking people to be politicians or state employees.
Yeah.
But they're doing it just out of their interest in seeing the platform do well, and it's really a challenge to get people to participate. Participation is a huge.
Yeah, I think like that's a like and D-Ink in your group, like that's going to be a real challenge. It's like how do we really incentivize the community who like really see it as a platform to trade on, like to really be passionate and have some form of emotional connection to really drive governance. And I think encouraging those to be a part of that process and like comment on the forums, vote on chain, etc., is a tough ask, and especially as we drive more towards a decentralized structure and be a full DAO eventually. Like this is something that needs to be progressive, and we really do need the right tools in place. Even though that isn't the overarching issue, I think actually having an education sessions like we were talking about, i.e., holding maybe a governance education call once a week to really talk through the high level of the governance proposals that are on there, as I think like even like myself and probably 90% of others don't fully grasp the detail of proposals that some of them get put up there. So I think breaking it down for everyone in a really digestible manner is also going to be an important.
Yeah, I agree. We need like an ELF5 for every proposal.
Yeah,
and it's still like a 3-page, and like it's really interesting because like there's two like diametrically opposed versions of proposals. One is like all lowercase, like commas in the wrong place, like sentences trail off, but it still tells an idea. And the other is this like really deep proposal with like formulas spread throughout.
Yeah,
it's 8 pages long, and it's usually from a VC or someone who is close to or like similar in scope and scale to a VC. And so like you have these almost professional level of proposals versus like the layman community, and it's we need maybe a middle ground, and we need like a template for the middle ground, and then we need the ELF5s that are very self-explanatory and easy to understand.
100%. I think like this is where like your like the governance borough might want to start producing like an actual like template for long form proposals and a template overview proposals that people can just log onto the forum, pick up that template, fill the template in based on like DYDX SATS Foundation standard, and therefore we replicate that process going forward, just so that everyone who posts a proposal, one, if it's a serious proposal, they'll fill out the template, and I think it just then keeps things standardized throughout the whole forum.
Yeah, so the idea I was having, sparked kind of by MX, is if we have that template, they write their proposal, and then we discuss with them directly their idea of what their proposal is. So, because even some of the stuff for us is hard to understand, like that you said, they're from some VCs, and we can really get down to what they're trying to explain on a layman's term. Send out that information to the community, then they can read it, understand it in layman's terms, and then we can do an AMA, and really iron stuff out like that.
Like I want to use the last proposal as an example. I talked to the proposal creator, like personally, like for half an hour, and we discussed the proposal and some other issues. Actually a proposal I'm considering that I think people really like. Like I have like 3 or 4 ideas that like I don't have more than that, but I have like 3 or 4 ideas that I think the community would really be positive on. But I'm like I have a good amount of things to do, but I also have this procrastination issue where if it's not like a critical core thing and I don't have a hard deadline, I'm like, well, I could do it really focused for the next few hours, or I could go get another soda and maybe check forums and answer some questions. And so like some of these things like proposals get put off a little bit, and I've been meaning to do this. But long story short, I kind of have an interesting maybe a unique perspective on this, because I talked to the proposal creator. I also knew some information on why the proposal was created. And from everything I could tell, the majority of and there are some reasons for this that were beyond what I'm talking about. Like nobody liked the USDC option where people are selling tokens at the end of the epoch, because people don't want to, of course, they don't want all the DADX every epoch sold. I mean, that's just obvious. So people were up in arms of the proposal. But what everybody missed, I'm pretty sure like almost nobody really, and I think nobody still understands why the proposal went forth. But it was specifically to keep people from gaming the system. Like, keep market makers in line, keep them all honest, and prevent market makers that are trying to take tokens from like people who are like, oh, regular traders from doing that. And it was like at its core, it was a wholly decent and positive proposal for the community. But like there was still a lot of pushback, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of frustration. And so this is a really good example of like something that I think if it had been explained differently, like it really could have had a broad embrace. And it had like a good amount of votes, but there was also some like, oh, we had this number of people, and it was only because of this little group that voted this way. Like there were still arguments, and people thought it was somehow going to like do horrible things for them. And like honestly, like the proposal as it was presented and like voted on, it was a wonderful proposal, and I think that it was literally 100% an issue of misunderstanding, because the only group that should have been complaining about this was the group that was taking outsized sitting orders on the book that were never filled using a large scale and a racking of tokens through that. And I'm pretty sure everybody who was vocal and spoke up was not that specific type of trader, because I know exactly what trader it was, and I know the situation. And like this was a great proposal for the group, and I'm glad it passed. But it's a really clear example of how the presentation did not really fully explain the situation, because it was a thing that everybody should have voted yes on, and it did pass, which is good. Anyway.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for spitting fire. I think your voice is always nicely heard in the community there, and I think your opinions are really valued. So thanks for sharing.
Highly valued.
Cool. All right. Well, it's 7:30. Well, sorry, wherever you are, it's gone 1:30. So basically, in order to claim your POAP now, there is a message in the Hedgie General channel. It's a Google form, and you'll need to type the word leverage. So it will ask you to type in a word to claim your POAP, and the word is going to be leverage. Okay.
Yeah, so that will be the secret password that you'll have to put along with your Discord name and Ethereum address. And we're doing it this way this time around to try to reduce any POAP farming and bots.
Sweet.
And you get inflamed in general chat.
Exactly.
Listen, it's a difficult struggle to distribute POAPs.
We appreciate it, Alucard.
Cool. Okay, guys. We'll call that a day. I guess I'll try and put this on YouTube by the end of the day anyway, and then I'll share the link out, and then we'll go from there in our next Hedgie Huddle. I think in the meantime as well, we'll keep you updated on like other AMAs and AAAs, Ask Investors, anything, and then we'll post that in the channels just to keep you informed. All right, guys. I'll end that now, and we'll catch up soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Great chat, guys. Thanks a lot.